The Milwaukee PBS Next Avenue Community Conversation Series is made possible through generous funding provided by the Helen Daniels Bader Fund, a Bader philanthropy.
Thanks. Hi, I'm John McGivern, and this is Next Avenue Community Conversations. I am in Sheboygan Falls tonight, where our topic of conversation is be fit and stay engaged at the same time. I just came back from a long weekend in Sarasota, Florida, where I spent the weekend with my 5 brothers and sisters. Our ages range from my youngest sister is 54, my oldest brother is 68. We were there visiting my oldest brother Jim's home in Sarasota. And that Saturday night, we were sitting around his dining room table. We were talking about work, what we do. I mentioned this show and what our next topic of conversation would be, which is being fit and staying engaged. And our family got to talking about what does it take to be fit? What does it take to stay fit? And we came up with 3 factors. The first is a good diet. That's after we just feasted on grilled swordfish and grilled vegetables and white rice. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I know there's a carrot cake out there somewhere. We knew that good sleep and good sleep habits is another factor. Just so you know, we were all in bed by 9:30. And the third was staying active. And we looked at the day we spent on Saturday. My oldest brother Jim and my sister Colleen spent the day golfing. My brother Tim, who lives in Tampa, Florida, had come a little later in the afternoon. Why? Because he spends his weekends on an over 50s fast pitch hardball team where he plays the catcher. My 65-year-old brother spends 9 innings squatting. I think he's fit. My brother Michael spent a couple hours at OT, Orange Theory. He found a place in Sarasota to go to it. And my sister Maureen and I spent 2.5 hours walking around Lakewood Ranch, Florida. We realized that the thread that we all carried with what we do activity-wise is that we did it with people. It's with teams. It's part of our social life, being active. So that's what we're talking about tonight, being fit, staying engaged. And before we meet our first 2 guests, I want to share with you something that I've done on Around the Corner. Over the last 9 years, I've met some people and what they're committed to as far as staying active. And I've been witness to, and I've been invited to be involved. I want to show you this. This happened in Prairie du Chien. This was a group of women who are incredibly committed to staying fit. Take a look at this.
1, 2, 3. We will rock you!
It's called Granny Basketball. Hooping Grannies.
That's our
That's
team.
the name of your team?
Yes.
2013 champs. Congratulations.
Yes.
Let's talk about the rules of this basketball. Is it the basketball I know?
No,
It's not.
There you go. Granny shot. We play full court, and we play 6-on-6, okay? But the gym is divided into 3 sections. You have the guards, the centers, and the forwards.
Not everybody can score.
No, only the forwards can make a basket. I love it, just to see how we still can move. You know, we would never thought that ladies could still move.
Yeah, and have a good time doing it.
And have a wonderful time doing it.
Can you talk about your outfit?
It's the 1920 look. Everybody dresses the same.
Oh, I get
With
it.
the white tops and the bloomers. And so the socks is what tells you which team you're on.
Those were the ladies staying fit in Prairie du Chien. Our first guests are Dr. John Wrights, a chiropractor with Better Life Chiropractic and Wellness. How are you?
Very
Dr.
well,
John,
thanks.
Good to see you. And Marie Sager, an RN with ADRC, which is Aging, Disability, and Resource Center.
Right.
Thanks for helping us.
Thank you.
How are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Good? So we're going to talk about staying fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my first question is, do you hear the expression that 60 is the new 40? Or is it 40? Is that how it works? Is that what people say?
Depends upon the person. Yes.
You know, do you find it to be true though?
It depends. You know, so we look at those things, you know, the 60, the new 40, it depends upon people's choices in their previous parts of their life. I see a lot of people that are a certain age, and if they make good choices, yeah, they get to be 60, 70 years old, and they're doing the things they want to do, being active, which is the goal of this show, right? But if people make not so great choices, they get to be later in life, and they have a lot more things that they have to try to overcome to have the fun that they want.
Things are really different nowadays. It's very visible. People are very active, they're enjoying life, they're thriving, they are feeling good. And I can remember when growing up with my grandparents, when they were in their 60s and 70s, they looked old, and you could tell they felt old. So people nowadays are looking pretty good, and I don't think that's just cosmetic.
Right.
And they're also living longer. And there's some statistics that show that in the past, the average age of people in nursing homes were 65 years old, and the nursing homes were full. And today, the average age is 81, and there's empty beds. And the majority of those people in nursing homes are there because they're there for rehab, so they can return home again. So yes, it's a real possibility that 60 is the new 40 nowadays.
As clinicians, what's your worry around aging population who want to stay fit? If people committed, say, I am 63 years old and this is what I want to do, are there things that you're like, no, don't do that? What are your concerns?
Well, no, I don't have any concerns about them. I have more concerns about people who do not want to be fit. And, you wonder about them, and you're thinking, maybe some people aren't able to do that because they have some health conditions, but there are many people, I think, that would enjoy doing it more, but they just don't know how to do it, and maybe they're worried they're going to feel silly. So for those people, I'd say, go out and talk to people who are active, or go to a gym and talk to people. Call us at the ADRC. We have information for them on classes that provide exercises for them.
Is there a holistic approach to your advice?
Yeah. With any kind of a holistic thing, I look at the 3 parts of health. You kind of talked about that in the introduction, but basically we take a look at the physical body as a big part. Are you moving? Are you doing things you want to do? Nutrition, inflammation is another part as well, right? If you don't feed the body well, your body can't adapt and heal from the exercise you're doing. Number 3 is stress management. So the holistic approach is getting all those 3 things together, and again, getting back to what you want to do and enjoy your life with your kids, grandkids, or loved ones.
Yeah, and I agree, holistic wellness, they talk about the spiritual, emotional, and physical connectedness of everything. And I think, if you're overweight and you decide that you want to lose weight, you'll probably get advice, lose weight by, just changing your diet, eating right foods, and exercising more. Where holistic, I think they look more at, why are you overweight, and make goals for yourself and pursue those goals and feel that you can do that.
Can we talk about being a chiropractor today? Is it how long have you been a chiropractor?
16 years.
And is it different today than it was 16 years ago?
Well, a lot different. You start to learn how to take care of people, and as things change, especially in my world, we take care of the nerve system, and that's kind of the goal. We'll talk about maybe with balance. We look at an aging population, balance and falls are a big part of your visits into the hospital, so we want to minimize that. So taking care of the nerve system is a big part. As far as things changing, I think stress is a big part of all different ages of people that we need to start kind of addressing more so. But as far as the day-to-day practice, taking care of the spine, keeping that healthy. But again, nutrition, exercise are the things I think we have to do more, because that's lacking more and more with people. But again, there's ways to encourage that.
Yeah. And to treat an aging population compared to a population that, let's say, in their 20s or 30s, there has to be a different approach, yes?
There's many different approaches. Everybody's a little bit different based upon their goals and where they are. Have they had many acute injuries or chronic injuries, which is postural stuff, right? So we look at, how do we get people out of those positions? Obviously, the leaning forward, we see a lot with whether it's talking about nursing homes or just life in general. When this position becomes more and more, you might need a walker, but not only does it affect the brain, balance, coordination, but also breathing ability. You start to compress the lungs and heart. So at the end of the day, it's, again, getting people to where they want to, reaching their goals, and it's cool to see those things happen day to day.
That's great. Yeah. Can you talk about resource-wise what ADRC offers and what you guys do at ADRC?
Well, ADRC, for people who are interested in increasing their activity and exercise, we do have evidence-based classes, exercise classes. One's called Stepping On, and that one focuses on balance and muscle strengthening, and it has an educational component to it. We have Tai Chi, which is a slow-moving type of exercise, which again works on balance and muscle strengthening. And then we also have Walk with Ease, and that's activity, you start walking short distances and building them up. And they're good programs because people build a camaraderie there. They encourage each other when they reach their goals. They just cheer everybody on. And all these classes are 6 to 12 weeks total, so they should just give us a call at the ADRC for more information.
Any other factors in wellness and being fit for people over 50 you want to talk about?
Well, I think it's important to talk about being physically fit, and when you're physically fit, you're mentally fit also. That gives you brain health, and we all know how important brain health is when you think about dementia, and you think about isolation and decreased socialization, because when you have those things, then you go into depression, you get more tired, you're less active, so it's really important to think about how physical activity really doesn't just help your body, it helps your brain a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all connected. The whole concept, you don't move it, you lose it. Yeah. So movement, keeping the brain healthy, nutrition, exercise, all those things are together. And at the end of the day, anybody can do anything, like you mentioned. Doesn't matter what age anybody's at or what state of physicality they're in. There's always things that you can do to improve.
Dr. John Marie, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
So we watched the women in Friederich. They had granny basketball. I spent some time in Kenosha where they said, "You're going to be so good at this, John." Let's take a look.
In order to play bocce here, you have to be a member.
You have to be a member. That's my partner. Yes. Yeah. So you've been a member for how long?
About 5 years now.
5 years. Did you join to play bocce?
You know what? I had to pull teeth. About 15 people said they would, and I had to pull teeth to get 20 people to play.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to be such close friends. It's wonderful. And we range from like, I don't know, 40 years old up to 83.
Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm. Because it's a game anybody can play.
Yeah.
The first year, Florence Gifford won, and she was 79 years old.
Florence won. Florence, say hi. 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 So it's not only fun, like, game-wise, it's really great socially.
It's great socially.
Nice.
Thank you so much for having us in here.
Yeah.
And all the women. Yeah, look at it. They're serious. Say hi, girls. Thank you. I love bocce ball. I love the fact that the Italian women in Kenosha said, "Hey, Irish boy, you can play." It was great. Now we're going to talk with Mike Gustafson, who's the director of Sheboygan Falls YMCA. Good to see you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
How's it going?
Very good, thank you.
So when I think of the YMCA, I don't really think of an older population, but I should, shouldn't I?
You should, yeah.
Let's talk about programming at the YMCA for an older population.
Sure. One of our bigger programs is our Silver Sneakers program. We have it's divided into 3 categories: classic, which is more strength, then it's followed by the cardiovascular portion, and then yoga. So we do it 5 times a day, and the gym is filled with about 50 plus people, all 50 and older, doing various.
5 times a day?
5 times a week.
5 times a week?
Once a day. Yep,
Oh, good.
Yep, once a day.
Yeah.
8:30 in the morning. So they're coming in and being very active in the morning, and then of course we have our pickleball group following them in our group, and then we offer various other activities such as diabetes prevention, fighting Parkinson's, and aquatics for people with arthritis as well.
And is that like water? What do they?
Yeah, they do. It's all in the water, and they do exercises to help with their flexibility and mobility and balance in the water.
So they go there for fitness, but is there a big social aspect to this?
Yeah, what we've noticed is with our programming, the socialization comes right with it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you can see, well, during class, there's a lot of laughter going on when they're in class. When they come out of class, they gather around for coffee, have a snack. Sometimes you can hear them making plans with their friends to go out as a group or do something afterwards. Some of our participants in class then stick around for pickleball later on. They just do a lot of things. They gather a lot of friendships.
Do you have to be a member of the Y to take advantage of all of these?
No, you don't.
You don't?
No. We don't. Anyone can come in and take these classes. As a matter of fact, the Silver Sneakers group that comes in there, a lot of their insurance covers that cost. So they can come in at no charge. But otherwise, if you don't have that kind of coverage, you just come in and you can buy a day pass or a small little package for a very minimal amount and participate in those classes.
Is it a few weeks for each class, or does it just?
It's ongoing. It's year round. Yes,
Yeah.
year round. So we were smart enough at the Falls Y to put air conditioning in our gym, so we don't lose our members in the summertime when it gets really warm. So we get a 50 plus group in there every day.
Do people have ideas about what they want programmed at the Y?
Yeah, the nice thing about belonging to the Y is you can just approach any one of our staff members and say, hey, I have an idea for something. As a matter of fact, we had a member come up with an idea of having a focus group that what happens is people get injured while they're working out. Then they feel a little bit of a depression set in because they can't finish their exercises. So we're bringing a focus group in, and we're going to be streaming live or online with a doctor talking about those things and how to fight that urge to just quit because they can't do a certain exercise. And let's figure out something else you can do to keep active. So we're bringing it together to be social with those people as well, because that's the main part. If you got a bunch of people getting together, it's outstanding.
And really smart to do it that way.
Yeah, it's very.
And if people are interested, what do they do?
Just stop on into the Y. We're always there. We're always there. It's nice that we belong to the association, the Sheboygan Association. The Falls Y is a branch of the Sheboygan County YMCA. And in our branch, we're a little bit smaller than our main Y downtown, but it's more of a hometown feeling. You come in and everyone's going to know your name when you walk in the door.
Yeah.
So,
can we talk about the social impact that programming a Y has on your population?
Yeah, the social impact that we see at the YMCA is bringing the socialization and their fitness together as one, which then creates a great mental well-being, because that's so important as you age.
And
is
purpose.
To keep it, and purpose.
Yeah. What's new and what would you like to get done at the Y?
Well, we're looking at expanding a little bit and trying to purchase or utilize another building to increase our services to that aging population, to offer more pickleball, offer more silver sneakers at different times. Right now it's only 8 in the morning. Well, some people aren't early risers, so if we can get something at noon, something in the afternoon, I think that would be great for the population.
And those non-early risers would certainly appreciate it.
Yes, they would. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for the information.
Thank you very much for having me.
Mike Gustafson, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
We are here in Sheboygan Falls for one reason, because back in season 2, we spent some time. We spent 4.5 days shooting our Around the Corner with John McGivern episode. And in that episode, we spent some time playing pickleball. I learned for the first time here in Sheboygan Falls, and that's what brought us here for this evening discussion. So let's take a look at this, okay? What the hell? Sorry.
0-3 on 1.
Do you know how long the sport has been? Is it a new sport? Do you know where it started?
I think the 60s, actually. Wasn't it somebody in Washington, the state of Washington? They invented it and named it after their dog. Their dog was named Pickles. Mm-hmm.
And they called it pickleball.
And they called it pickleball.
It's like a hybrid of table tennis and tennis.
And tennis.
Is this all the equipment you need?
Good pair of shoes.
And a good pair of shoes.
And, you know, it's easier on seniors because you're not covering as much territory.
Right.
It got real popular then in like Arizona and Florida in the retirement communities. And then it got brought up here by those people who spend the winters down there.
If people want to play with you, what do they do? Can they just show up and say, can we play?
Certainly.
They can.
Yes,
and where do they get their equipment?
We have extras or we share.
There, go, John! Go again!
So that was season 2 7 years ago, and pickleball has become incredibly popular here in Sheboygan Falls and really all over the state. So what a better thing to do than talk to 2 really good pickleball players. How are you guys? Yeah, I'm talking to you too. Yes, we're talking to Diane Lambert, and we're talking to Roger Klettke. How are you?
Good. Fine. Good.
You spent some time playing pickleball.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about how you got into it and how long you've been playing. Roger?
Well, I've been playing about 5 years. I met a friend at the Y who said that he was now playing pickleball, and I said the usual response is, what the heck is that? Right. And he said they were playing in Sheboygan Falls, so I went that evening to Sheboygan Falls, and Diane and her husband Paul taught me how to play pickleball. The next week I took my wife, we played, and the rest is history. I've been playing for about 5 years now.
5 years. That's a good time. Yeah. Diane?
I've been playing for about 9 years.
You have been.
Mm-hmm. I learned in Arizona. We go there for the summertime, for the winter. Feels like summer.
Right.
And we learned how to play, and then we decided to bring it back to Sheboygan Falls because at that point we were addicted to pickleball and we had to keep playing. So there was a very small group of us, maybe 4 or 5 of us, those of us that went to Arizona and those of us that went to Florida that knew how to play the game.
Yeah.
And we eventually got courts striped at River Park where you played, and we advertised. We got people to come, we gave them free pickleball lessons, and we've been playing ever since. It's just wonderful.
And that was just 9 years ago?
9 years ago. Actually, it was 2012 is when we really started to play pickleball here in Sheboygan Falls.
Sir, you are who they were referring to. You who brought it back.
Yeah, I think so.
who
I'm the
brought it
guilty
north.
one.
Yeah. And 9 years later, the popularity it's remarkable, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. We
Yeah.
now have, in Sheboygan County, we now have 47 pickleball courts, and we're going to have over 50 sometime in the near future. We play at 13, 14 different venues.
Yeah.
And in 6 different towns in Sheboygan County alone.
That's a great story. Isn't that a great story?
It's wonderful.
Yeah. If people are listening, they're like, I have no idea what pickleball. Can you describe pickleball?
I've always described it as more like playing ping pong standing on the table. The really great thing about pickleball, though, is that the learning curve is much, much faster than tennis. In order to pick up and enjoy tennis, you have to play a lot. Otherwise, you're chasing the ball. With pickleball, the learning curve's fast. Very soon, you're into good rallies, and it becomes a finesse game. The women, men, it's independent of age or gender. And I've had to take a little time off when I had a total knee replacement, but even after a total joint replacement, pickleball is much, much easier on your joints than tennis, so it's a great sport for everybody.
It sounds kind of perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And are you all year players?
Oh, yes.
You are?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We've got our schedule set that you can play twice a day, anytime.
Is it competitive, this game?
Our group has mainly intermediate people, and so, I mean, we're competitive, trying to win all the time, but basically it's for fun. Exercise programs, which we're talking about in staying fit, they're only good if you keep at them, and pickleball is so much fun that people come, they keep at it, and it really addresses depression and the risk of falling, which are 2 major medical issues at my particular age, through the socialization, as Diane's explaining, and then also it does have some strength and balance issues associated with it too. So it's just an excellent rehab program or just an excellent stay in shape program.
Other activities besides pickleball? What do you do to stay active?
I'm still trying to play volleyball at the Y, and the Y at both places have excellent physical facilities for doing exercises. And then also our pickleball group has sort of a subgroup that goes biking, so I go biking and all those kinds of activities also.
You as well?
Pickleball, a little bit of biking, but tennis is my other sport. So I'm either on the tennis court or the pickleball court 5 days a week.
And you play tennis a lot longer than you've played pickleball, yes?
Yes, that's true.
And did being a tennis player help you in pickleball?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
It actually did. And I'll tell you, ping pong players do extremely well in pickleball.
Yeah.
Because the way they hold the paddle and the way they hit the ball.
Spike.
They're good. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for taking the time with me. It was a pleasure, and I want to play you guys, if that's all right.
Anytime. You're welcome on the court.
Thank you for coming to Sheboygan Falls.
Sure. That's pickleball. You know, as I said, I've had such opportunity in Around the Corner, and I always think that I'm really good at most of the stuff that they allow me to play. Take a look at something that I did in Platteville, Wisconsin, that I said, yeah, I can do this. Take a look.
This is the Platteville Horseshoe Pitching Association. We run leagues mid-May through mid-August. We've got 32 players this year. Statewide and nationwide, there is sanctioned pitching. We ran the first state tournament here that we had run in 2004. and then again in 2009 and 2015 most recently.
We're in a city park, right?
Correct.
And the city completely supports this. How long has this court been here?
The club was founded in 1981 with 6 courts that you see here.
A lot of these older guys here, I used to pitch with them when I was a kid.
Is that right?
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
I think about 5 years ago we started up here.
I started pitching back in '90, and I pitched for about 15 years, I guess.
It's fun, isn't it?
I love it. I love it, yeah.
So what's the trick to being good at it?
Natural talent.
Is that what? Crap! Should I try?
They really get into it up here.
If we had good clay, that would have been a point.
They're serious and competitive. Whoops. That's the producer, it's okay. I want to thank Sheboygan Falls High School for opening their doors to us. I especially want to thank Cheryl Bruning from the Sheboygan Falls Chamber of Commerce, and I especially want to thank all of our guests who helped us with their expertise. So whether we're talking pickleball or bocce ball or granny basketball or horseshoes, what we're talking about is staying fit and being engaged. This is Next Avenue Community Conversations. I'm John McGivern, and thank you so much for being part of our conversation. So his question was, what's the oldest and the youngest pickleball player that has joined
Well, I
your
can
ranks?
tell you the oldest. Our group has an 83-year-old playing with us, and he looks 65.
Is he here?
And acts, yes, he's right back there.
Here, can you step down here, sir? Wow.
All the way down.
You look great, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, and do you play a lot?
Have been, but not much this year. We've got a bunch of other things going.
Oh, you're too busy to play?
Going places and things like that.
Well, I'm glad you could come tonight. That's very nice. That's good to meet you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Yeah.
The Milwaukee PBS Next Avenue Community Conversation Series is made possible through generous funding provided by the Helen Daniels Bader Fund, a Bader philanthropy.